You gonna behave? Hmm? You better behave. Yeah, because we're live. That's right. It's past your bedtime. Why aren't you in bed? Ah, love my cats. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. So we've got Impact After Dark, and now we got J-Bone After Dark. It's way after dark. It's almost 2 in the morning here because I got out of work late, and then I started watching Impact Wrestling, and I loved it so much. I had to talk about it right away. I did not want to wait till whatever. Man, we are. This is all final hour fallout, but we are trudging forward quite quickly. It's Homecoming, January. What is it? I wrote it down here. January 6th is Homecoming, the next big show for Impact Wrestling. We've got 6 weeks, or now 5 more weeks, till that show. They just recorded all 3 nights in a row in Vegas at Sam's Town, and man, and it's hard to tell like how many people are in the crowd, but you can tell the bleachers are full. If you how many people watch Ring Warriors? Ring Warriors is shot in the same place. Now, the first set of tapings were really well lit, and you could really see everyone in the crowd. The second set of tapings that they just had, they dimmed down the crowd a lot, but you can still tell there's people in the bleachers. And it really gives it that old school feeling. And I feel right off the bat, you could tell there was a lot of people in the crowd. A little hard to tell, but you could tell there was a decent crowd there for the Impact taping. And I'll say that the crowd wasn't dead. You know, they sounded great. I listened to one podcast earlier today was you'll have to forgive me, I don't remember the name of it. It's Petey Williams' podcast that he does with Dennis Farrell, I believe his name is. And Petey Williams was talking about the atmosphere, the tapings, and he said it was really good. And he gave away a little bit of spoilers, but not a lot. Just one thing coming up, and I won't discuss it here for the sake of the fans. Wow, late at night, we're actually getting some viewers. Nice. Welcome. Come on in. Crack a cold one. Raised and Rocks is in the house. What is up? Is in the chat, I should say. You got the stuff, man. I got the stuff. And I got the kitty right here. The kitty's joining me. And it's late. And I didn't think I was going to get any viewers this late. But hey, you know, this reaches all over the place. So you never know who you're going to hit. It's only midnight on the coast. So, hey, wherever you are, thanks for joining. And this one's just sitting here. So, yeah. But anyways. So yeah, and let me know as you're following along, listening to me discuss tonight's episode of Impact Wrestling. Let me know in the comments if you so wish to. Let me know what you thought about this show. I thought it was a hell of a show, and the fact that they're already setting up Homecoming with some man, that ending few minutes really wowed me, and we'll talk all about it, right, Sebastian? Right, Sabby? All right, let's get into this. You're sitting on my notes. You can't sit on my. gonna make me hold my notes like a teacher here. Jeez Louise. All right, so we start out this set of tapings with a hell of a match between the women's knockout champion Tessa Blanchard and a new face. Really? You're taking off so soon? Just started. All right, I'll let you out of the office. Hang on. Go on. Sorry about that. That's fun of having pets. Sometimes they love you, and sometimes they just don't want to be around you. All right, so now we go. Racist Fan Rock says the only thing I caught was Cage cashing in Op C. Yeah, we will definitely talk about that. If that's the only thing you caught, you should definitely go back and watch the rest of it somehow, some way, because it was a hell of a show. The wrestling on this episode was tremendous. Starts out with a match. Knockout smash between the Knockouts champ, like I said, Tessa Blanchard, and a new face, Ray Lynn. And they mentioned that she's with Rise Company. And that's, if you're not familiar with Rise, they're kind of like Shine or Shimmer. It's all women, and it's out of, I believe, Chicago is where they do their tapings. Now, I've only seen one special of theirs, but it was really good. And I've been meaning to check out some more of their stuff. I just haven't done it lately. I think they got their own website, too, where you can pay to watch their stuff. To subscribe to their Twitch channel, you can watch stuff, too. So, not a bad deal there. So Tessa comes out with a win here, Ray Lynn. But you know what? Ray Lynn, even though she not too many people really do stand a chance against Tessa Blanchard. She is one tough chica. Oh my goodness. But Ray Lynn put in a decent enough match that I honestly hope we see more of her in the future. And that's one thing that this show has, or this brand, whatever you want to call Impact Wrestling, this brand of wrestling, is the Knockouts division is always been strong. Over the last year and a half, maybe hasn't had a ton of good talent, but the talent that they've had has been really good. And those who maybe weren't quite as good as some others, like Kiera Hogan over this last year or so, has really stepped it up, has definitely improved, faces like that. So I hope Ray Lynn does come. I hope Tessa hasn't scared her off too bad. But then we get Taya coming up after Tessa is trash talking her on the mic. So Taya comes out and she's like, you know what? Off again and Homecoming. Now they didn't come up with a step. I know Tessa lost by DQ, but she retained her championship by decking the ref. So poor Brandon Tolley, he's really he's really under a lot of stress lately in these knockouts matches. So Taya comes out, and she's got some new music, too. I noticed that. New music, and I dig it. And she's got a new kind of, I don't know. There's something about Taya, a new kind of confidence. Dare I say cockiness? Kind of weird, but you know what I mean. Confidence. She's really coming into her own, and I got a feeling she may have a dose of extra luck come her way at Homecoming. If I could put a little mild prediction into what we're going to see in just less than a month and a half away. So yeah, we're going to see them one more time. Taya versus Tessa, January 6th at Homecoming for the Knockouts Championship. I can't wait. They put on tremendous matches. Number 3 won't disappoint. And it's going to be a hell of a way to kick off 2019. And 2019, if you thought 2018 was nuts, 2019, there's going to be so much going on between stuff with Impact Wrestling, the demise of the Bullet Club, where are they going to end up? All sorts of stuff in professional wrestling is going to be so... It's going to become must watch. It really is. Then we get one of my favorite segments of the whole show here. Oh my goodness. The Rascals are coming to Impact Wrestling. And I've been waiting for months for this, and we finally got it. We get a debut segment, and just I laughed. I really did. Desmond Xavier, Zachary Wentz, and Trey Miguel. And it's basically, you could say it's a rip-off of the 70s show. The segments where they're all sitting around getting high, and the camera switches to the, and then the camera switches back to this guy, and then the camera switches to this guy, and back and forth that way, and they're all giggling, and it's all goofy, and it's all hysterical, and I loved it. And it's one more way that this brand, Impact Wrestling, pushing the envelope. It's pushing the edgy stuff. You're not going to see that anywhere else. 3 sitting around with a cloud of smoke engulfed around them, acting like they're high as shit and laughing about stuff. And then in the midst of all the joking around and silliness, they talk about how they got a match in 2 weeks. So weeks, we're going to get the debut of the Rascals. And this is another group out of Ohio. It's going to, I predict, take over this tag division. Not seen. If you have not seen Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz together, or Trey Miguel for that matter, do yourself a favor. Go on you look up some of their stuff. They're all from Ohio. They're all young. They're all hungry, and they're all incredible. One of the specials, oh shoot, it was from a few months ago. It was when an imp show with Wrestling Revolver. I think Pentagon was part of the main event or something. I think it was a Twitch show. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was a Twitch show. And the Rascals were a part of that one. And right then, I blew up Twitter. I was like, Impact Wrestling, you have got, I'm not going to sit here and take, credit for bringing them. As a fan, I was like, hey, Impact Wrestling, you have got to have these guys back. And these are all guys that are, tied with Callahan. Sami Callihan, being, I consider him a top guy in Impact Wrestling, is going to have a little pull. Controversial. But they're going to listen to him. When he says, hey, I got these group of guys, one of your last shows, I think we should bring them in. When you've got the guys from OVE and Can talking about these guys constantly, that's a shoo-in. So I can't get these guys to come in. Great. I'm laughing just thinking about it, man, because Zachary Wentz he's all geeking. So funny. Just great. Well, and I love that 70s show. So seeing these guys sit around like they're, blazed and just goofy. And I give Impact Wrestling a credit to have the balls to do something like that, because you ain't gonna see that on any other show. Hell no. Like I've said for weeks in a row now, there are advantages to being after dark. I do hope they get a different network, but I think you can keep the edginess up to a point and stay safe, where you're not gonna scare people away. Next, we get a tag team match between Falaba with KM versus LAX, Santana and Ortiz with Conan at ringside. This, I didn't think much of this match at first. When the guys were coming out, I'm like, but I was really wrong. I was really wrong. This match kicked ass. I've seen probably the most athleticism ever out of Falaba in this match than anything else I've ever seen him in. Not that I haven't seen him do great before, but this match, he really shined. I mean, he really brought it. He brought the athleticism. He did some crazy stuff. And it's always fun, with Cam and Falaba coming out there. You get a few laughs, and that's what these guys are about. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when it came down to it, and these guys, put it in fifth gear and really kick ass, they did. They really brought it. Now, unfortunately, and I heard about it on the podcast too. Oh, excuse me. Got his nose broke. And they even put it in the next segment, or one of the next segments, where LAX is talking to Conan afterwards. But yeah, these guys put on a hell of a match. But LAX comes out with a win. What? And I got to mention that segment where Cam and Falaba are talking about Scarlett Bordeaux. Like, hey, win and we get some gold, Scarlett will represent us and blah, blah, blah. And Fala just faints away right there in the casino. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I'm really starting to like this tag team together. It took, I'll say it took me a while to get on board. It did. I won't lie. It did. But the more I watch these two together, the more they really tag team. And not everyone can claim that. But between the comedy of the Cam and Falaba responding with everything with ba, I love it. And it's great. So yeah, and that's in that one of the next segments. LAX is talking with Conan and joking about Cam's broken nose. Then they're talking about the OGs and Conan's, and if you blink, you miss it. He says that the OGs will not be back. And I've seen little news bits here and there. And not a lot of people are talking about this, and I'm a little surprised. The fact that the OGs were not at this tapings, from what I've heard, and them saying on the show that they're gone makes me wonder if you're going to see, if you're going to see Homicide and or Hernandez somewhere else. And I heard Homicide hinted some Twitter about you never know where we're going to show up or something. I don't know. To put King in this equation too, because King, this entire feud with LAX and Conan thing has been absolute gold. And I never really paid that much attention to Kingston before, but man, between the wrestling of everyone, the feud, the promos, it's been one of the top feuds of the year. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on the news, see, if we see if and where the guys from the OGs show up anywhere else. Well, like I said, 2019 is going to be crazy. You're going to see a lot of different faces popping up different places. It's going to be nuts. We get a segment here. Heather Monroe talking to, what's her name? Mackenzie Mitchell. Oh, excuse me. Damn. Talking about her debut, and she's got a match with Sue Young. And Kiera Hogan warns her, like, hey, you don't know what you're going up against here. So just, warns her, like, hey, be careful. And and I've heard of Heather Monroe, but I've never seen her in a match before. So this, I was like, oh, okay. So I was going to see this. We then get a GWN flashback from Bound for Glory last year. LAX versus OVE. That was a barn burner of a match, folks. That was a lot of fun. A lot of craziness. Tails, ladder spots, chairs. Oh, my goodness. And it was also the debut of Sami Callihan. And the fact that Callahan's been with this company for a year now, or just a little over a year. And he's signed, I'm pretty sure he signed a multi-year with Impact Wrestling. And granted, some of it was accident and not on purpose, but that they took an accident with a baseball bat and blew it up and got people talking, and I mean really people talking. Their YouTube exploded. And it was wildfire from there. Sami Callihan creating controversy. And like Eric Bischoff said years ago, controversy creates cash. And I honestly, this is the perfect example of it, folks. Callihan coming in and shooting his mouth off and crazy things got people turning their heads, paying attention to the product. It's, He called for the feud between, well, I don't know who actually gave okay for it, but him shooting his mouth off on social media, starting a whole thing with Marty Scurll and the Cruise and the Impact versus Ring of Honor. There was also the Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground. That was a tremendous event. Mania weekend. So yeah, he's really made his mark company, and he's going to do a lot more, let me tell you. And we get the announcement of the Eli Turkey Trot for Thanksgiving, because it's going to be on Thanksgiving next week. That's going to be interesting. Who's gonna, I'm not knocking the show, but after everybody's done eating their turkey, who's going to stay awake and watch Impact? It's not going to be easy, folks. People, Impact Wrestling fans are going to have to inject some kind of steroid or Red Bull into their turkey or something. You're not going to want to miss this. So who's going to wear the turkey suit next week? I don't know. But apparently it's supposed to be Team Eli Drake versus Team Falaba. That's going to be a riot. I think Eli Drake ended up wearing the turkey suit last year. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think he did. It was pretty funny. I think Chris Masters was still in the company then too. Oh, the company's really changed a lot in the last year. A lot of faces have come and gone. Some I went on the company. Did you see what Bobby Lashley was doing this week? Oh my God. Don't get me started on that shit. WWE is just freaking killing him. It's so sad. It's so sad. You want to see a good rant down and go over to Andre Corbeil's channel. Spitting some truth on that one, let me tell you. We get a segment with Eli Drake and Tommy Dreamer talking about what hardcore means. And Eli basically puts the whole lawsuit thing to rest. And it was just to basically rub Park's face in the dirt and trying to destroy what's hardcore in the company. Now, like I said earlier, I heard about someone that's coming that's going to be a part of all this. Oh, I can't wait to see it. One of my old faves. Someone that gets involved in this whole thing with Eli Drake. To what degree, I'm not sure. But see. So yeah, and Tommy Dreamer's like, well, let's just start a fight right now because the argument gets pretty heated. And Drake runs away. We don't really get the fight that I think would be pretty darn good between Dreamer and Eli Drake. So we'll see where this goes over the next few weeks, because this is obviously going to build up to something. We'll see. Scarlett Bordeaux has some new security. Oh my God. This guy looked like a relative of the one that used to be the security to Chris Jericho back in WCW. I'm sure what his name was while I was watching this show. But Scarlett Bordeaux finds this guy drink in the Samstown parking lot. And she's like, ooh, come with me. I know what to do with you. And she put some kind of like marker pen graffiti on his chest, like Scarlett Bordeaux security. And then He's topless, and his hair is like she's got some kind of like blonde braided wig on this guy's head. Oh my god! I hope they paid you good for this shit. Oh, what the hell am I talking about? I would have done that. Oh, too damn funny. But she goes up to the refs. Oh, that's gonna really bother me now. I can't think of what that guy's name was that used to be with Chris Jericho. Someone put it in the chat. Someone put it in the comments. I can't remember. The senile old fart can't remember back that far. So Scarlett Bordeaux is she comes up to the refs and she's flirting with them. Great segment. And they're talking about, or Brandon Toley's worried about how unsafe the company is because of dealing with Tessa Blanchard and how rough she is. I mean, she really clobbered him. Was that last week? No, 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. But anyways, oh, that was where he got clobbered. Because that's how Tessa retained her championship. Yeah. So, yeah. She's flirting with the refs and going up to Johnny Bravo. Oh, that name. Ooh. And then going up to Brandon Tully. Oh, yeah, I might have stepped in a gym once or twice. I might have had a protein shake, one or two of them. The only protein you ever had was a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Oh, shnikes. Too damn funny. And oh my god, what the hell was she wearing? Whew. She's in the envelope with what she's been wearing lately. She really has. Talk about Impact Wrestling hiding that fine line of what's the next rating? TV 14 at Impact After Dark rating. And no, I have not sent in my my note to Scarlett Bordeaux yet. No, I have not done that. If you're wondering. No. I wouldn't know what the hell I do. I really don't know. We then get a good match out of actually a really good match out of Johnny Impact and Matt Sydal. Ethan Page at ringside really tough. I tell you what, I would love to see Johnny Impact versus Ethan Page. I'm surprised too if we don't get that in the soon and near future, because Ethan Page is not going to be happy just being at ringside with Matt Sydal. He's so much better than people even know. If you're a fan of his, if you're not familiar with his stuff, you need to go check it out. But what Johnny does, it's like toward match, he does that corkscrew, what do they call it, a corkscrew plancha, whatever, over the corner, turnbuckle, and the steel post on top of Ethan Page, taking them out, and then took out Matt Sydal for the win. So no championship chance for Matt Sydal in the near future. Then, oh my goodness, one of the best segments in the entire show. And it ties in with the last minutes of the episode too, which is so important. Killer Cross comes out and basically puts over Johnny, and he gets, well, before he does it, it's a hell of a pop from the crowd. And you got to remember, this is his town. He's been busted ass in Vegas the last, we'll just say handful of years. It's not 5 years, but the last few years in Vegas and down in AAA and all over the place. But he hails from the city of sin. He was, FSW runs out of, I don't think it's Samstown. They might have had a thing or two there. It's usually somewhere else. But that's where geez Louise, I'm getting tired. That's where Killer Kross was champ for over 2 years. And that says something. Go to the FSW channel or go to Kevin Kross's channel on YouTube. He's got some of those matches on there that he did while he was champ. He's beaten guys like I don't know what Tommy Dreamer's on there. He beat Brian Cage for the FSW champ. Now that was 2 or 3 years ago, but that was a good match. So if you want to see some older stuff between those two, go check it out. It's good stuff. So yeah, Killer Kross comes out and, like I said, puts over Johnny, and then tells him, "You're gonna need me someday." And it just came across so weird. It's like, why would Johnny Impact need Killer Kross? And Johnny Impact his hand. I don't trust you. I don't need you. You need to stay away from my family. And he's just left standing there with his hand out like the crowd was even shake his hand. Of course, they love Kross. So, and I, being a fan of Kross for the last few years, have seen that alliance down in AAA with Johnny when those two used to run roughshod all over AAA. Great shit. Last year was Johnny's year in AAA. He had all the belts. Kevin was his muscle. It was great. The videos are out there. You can go check them out. But Kross killed everyone in Mexico for Johnny. I mean, everyone. Men and women. Destroyed them all. Great shit. Sato suplex out of that roster. So, and this goes back to, a year ago when Johnny came to Impact Wrestling and I crossed to go with him and it didn't happen. I was like, oh man, this really needs to happen. And I thought it was going to happen when Johnny Impact came back after his, Survivor stuff. It still didn't happen. Now, Kross offers his service, and Johnny says no. But, and it's a big but, we wait and see what because I'm like, it didn't click. It's like, okay, what's going to happen that's going to make Johnny want Killer Kross services? We'll get to that. Next week, Jordan Grace working out backstage. She's doing some stretches. Now, see, and I was wrong. I mean, I will pleasantly say I was wrong. Okay. When I heard that she tweaked something in her ankle or leg or foot or whatever it was. Shut up, it's thirsty. when she hurt herself, I did not think we were going to see Jordynne Grace at these tapings. When I saw the picture on social media over the last couple days, a lot of people posted that picture. Them with the Impact sign behind them going, a lot of people did that. In fact, when the Rascals did that, I was like, yeah, we're getting the Rascals at Impact. Holy shit, that's awesome. So all sorts of faces do that. Can't even think of ways. We'll see them, and I'll talk about them when we see them on Impact Wrestling over the next several weeks. So Jordynne Grace is there working out. So I don't know if she's going to wrestle, but she is there. She's talking to Katarina, and Katarina's like, hey, we could really be a force together. And she's like, because I could have beat you on any other day, but we could really be a force together. And Jordan's like, oh, you keep me on any day, hey? She's like, how about in 2 weeks? And then just walks away. and Katarina, no, that's not what I wanted. Oh, shit. So we are going to get Jordynne Grace wrestling against Katarina in 2 weeks. Pleasantly surprised. So apparently she's not dinged up as much, or maybe they'll do an angle, gets injured. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with this. I'm very intrigued though, because like I said, I did not think Jordynne Grace was going to be a part of this. Don't get me wrong, I'm ecstatic. I love that she's a part of this brand. And she's not just a one and done, folks. She's a signed girl. So happy for that. Just hoping that she, overcomes whatever's, ailing her, whatever she tweaked, whatever. Then we get a really quick and kind of weird little event here. Eddie Edwards attacking Moose, who was warned by Eddie's wife earlier, like, hey, leave because my husband's coming and I don't know what he's going to do, but you're going to be in trouble and I don't want to see anything happen. And Moose is like, don't worry, I'm gonna get him. You just need to take care of him. So he shows up, he attacks Moose, and all of a sudden 3 orderlies or nurses or whatever you want to call them grab Eddie, grabs a syringe out of a pocket and gets him in the neck, and they drag him away. And then they're talking about this at the commentary table about him, and so it sounds like they're having Eddie admitted. So, and I can't imagine what else is going to come out of this. I mean, he's been so goofy and so over the course of this last year after the incident with Sami Callihan. I mean, this really does go back a ways. But watching his character evolve from pissed off wanting revenge into like an absolute maniac, it's been, at first it's like, I don't know, because he's always been so squeaky clean, pasty white bread boy, but he's always been a tremendous wrestler. So watching him evolve over the last several months, and now he's just completely lost it, and he can't control his wife, control him at all. So who knows? Apparently the feud is not done, or they're going to take him away. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see where this goes. I don't know, but he's going to be in a straitjacket soon, I guess. Oh. So next week, like I said, we're getting Team Eli versus Team Falaba. We then get the debut of Heather Monroe. Now, Heather Monroe is another one like Ray Lynn, who really impressed me. And it's in the chat. He's on his way to the funny farm. Cue the Dr. Demento music. They're coming to take me away. Ha ha. They're coming to take me away. Ho ho. Hee hee. Ha ha. To the funny farm. That should be his new theme music. His new entrance music should be a song. Oh my God, that'd be a riot. I'm surprised. I don't know why they haven't done this like for months now. It'd be great. Oh man, poor Eddie. So yeah, we get this match between Heather Monroe and Su Yung. Heather Monroe gets some okay off in here and there, but Su Yung really does overpower her. Is it me, or did Su Yung look a little more deranged into this time? She had like an extra dose of like blood on her. I don't know if she's had writing on her legs before, or what looked like bloody scars scratched into her legs. I haven't seen that before. If she has had that before, I noticed it. But that really looked sick. But I love Su Yung. Su Yung is still, I mean, for now, one of my favorites on the Knockout roster. There are not too many people that can do a gimmick like that and just put 1,000% into it. I mean, her just looking across the ring at you just should give you goosebumps. It's the way she, twitches and just her whole. I mean, that's charisma through the roof there, honestly. She comes out with a win here. And she wins with the mandible claw and the is that the panic switch? Is that what it's called? Panic, whatever. Kiera Hogan comes down and tries to rescue Heather Monroe. And we get the debut of a very different looking Allie. New music, new look. The bubblegum blonde is gone, folks. It's completely gone. And we got a hint of that. What was that, last week? I think it was last week when Father, what's his name? James Mitchell came and took her away with Su Yung. And so basically she's totally to the dark side now. And she did it to a long run is going to she did it because she didn't do it because she wanted to, and I can't quite put it into words like what I'm thinking, but anyways, I'm getting freaking tired. It's late. It's holy shit, it's 2:45. Anyways, we'll get through this, folks. So yeah, Su Yung then attacks Kiera Hogan because Kiera Hogan's totally distracted by Allie. Like, what are you doing? What's going on? Look like this with all your crazy makeup and I like the makeup too. It's they didn't just copy Su Yung. made her different, and that's important because Su Yung really has a unique look. I mean, she has all the undead brides, but if you're gonna just make Allie another bride, that's kind of as Deadpool would say, that's just lazy writing. But they gave her a different look. The number one, they dyed her hair. That right there, jet black hair, and somebody mentioned it in one of my last reviews. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of look, sort of, but now it's just more kind of like badass with the leather and everything, with the makeup on like the lower half of the face, kind of like a mask. I like it. It's gonna be interesting to see what she does. Obviously, aligned herself now with Su Yung. And I got a feeling this is going to lead to a match with Kiera Hogan. And we've seen Allie with Kiera Hogan so much that seeing these together is almost going to be a little weird. They've been together for, the last year, plus backing each other, being there for each other. So, and I still think part of this is going to lead to the return of Rosemary, but I still haven't heard anything as far as like anything official, like, ooh, she's on, she's fine, she's wrestling again. I haven't heard, so we'll see. Allie has officially joined the dark side. Last but certainly not least, we get the X Division match, Division Championship match, between Sami Callihan with OVE at ringside against the Machine, Brian Cage. Oh my God, what a match. Dare I say it was better than Johnny Impact's match. And he's my favorites. But so is Brian Cage. Oh, it's funny how I put those two in the same sentence. Segue. It's not as cool as an Ollie Davis segue, but just bear with me. But yeah, this really was this was a great match between Sami Callihan. Of course, we get the ref getting rid of the Chris brothers at ringside. Doing a little interfering. They're earning their paycheck with Sammy. But ref gets rid of them. Brian, it was looking bad for Brian for a while in this match. I'm not gonna lie, because you think about Sammy's just a baseball bat. Oh, he just spits a lot. Oh, he just yells a lot and runs around and beats his chest. No, I mean, yeah, he's all those things, but in a match like this, you see that Sammy's a hell of a wrestler. He is, really is. And when he's given the chance to shine like this, he does. And it's one of those things where I love Brian as X Division champ, but part of me wants Sammy to have a championship. He deserves it, man. He is a top guy in this brand. He is, he has helped end up from where it was a year ago. Not that it was horrible a year ago, but Impact Wrestling has certainly evolved over the course of this last year. And I say evolved for the better. Between storylines, roster, and wrestling. Some of the best wrestling. And Sammy's been a part of that. So, but Brian Cage comes up with a win here, but then immediately grabs a mic. And just, it's like, oh, Brian's going to talk. Oh, okay. What's Brian got to say? And he's like, Homing's coming up on January 6th. And I'm cashing. He's holding up his X Division championship. And he says, I cash in. Johnny, I'm coming for your championship. And he leaves the X Division champion in the ring. He leaves empty-handed. And we haven't seen Option C in a while. And a lot of people were talking about that over the course of the last several months leading up to Bound for Glory. How a lot of fans wanted this Brian Cage cash that in against, well, whoever was champ. Well, at the time it was Austin Aries. And when I started hearing stuff like that, I was like, yeah, man, I would love to talk about a switcheroo. How cool would it have been to see use Option C against the guy that invented it? That would have been badass. I would have loved to have seen that. Instead, we got some controversial stuff from Aries, and he left the company. What are you going to do? But, see, and this is where this really gets interesting, and I can't wait to see how they build this up over the next several weeks from Vegas. Remember earlier in the episode, a certain gentleman by the name of Killer Cross went up to Johnny and said, someday you're going to need my services? Whoops, here I'm kicking over my own shit. So excited and just stuff around. When could Johnny Impact possibly need those services? Oh, maybe January 6th. Oh, man. Could it be the start of a new Holy Alliance, January 6th, and Killer Cross convinces Johnny to his backup at the main event of Homecoming? Holy shit, folks. Yeah, I've always wanted this, but I didn't think we were going to get it like this. Or it could be a complete switcheroo. Johnny decides to use Kevin Cross's services, and Killer Cross turns on Johnny and helps Brian Cage become champ. Who knows? But man, I can't wait till 2019. This is going to be so much fun. Oh, that week, folks, that week is going to be absolutely nuts. Because I know Wrestle Kingdom's like January 3rd or January 4th, and that's always a lot of fun. Even if you don't know everybody on the card, it's a lot of fun. Because especially if you're a diehard wrestling fan and you don't need all the gimmicks and storylines attached to it. It's just balls to the wall wrestling. A couple days later, Homecoming. Oh my God. It's going to be one hell of a way to kick off the new year. Oh. And then, of course, we're going to find out where everyone else is headed. That's not Tide, Honor, and New Japan. Also heard interesting today that Silas Young's contract is going to be up. Another Milwaukee guy. I used to watch him wrestle over on what was that? Bruce City Wrestling. Yeah. BCW. And that was a long time ago. Holy, very underrated guy. I wouldn't mind seeing him jump to Impact. Eh, who knows? But let's just enjoy this for what it is for now. These last few episodes of 2018 from Sam's Town, Las Vegas, Impact Wrestling. Some debuts, these match buildups for 2019 January 6th homecoming. Oof. Let me know what you're excited for. Let me know what you thought of this episode and get crazy ass main event for homecoming already. Oh my goodness. If you came in late, if you joined late, because God knows it is late at night, and that's okay. I understand. And you want to catch the rest of it, the replay will be up on rantwithant.com. They'll be up on social media as soon as I can get it up right after we finish here, which is right now. Thanks for folks. Thanks for tuning in this late on a Thursday evening, early Friday morning. Dear God, it's time for bed. Finish my cold one here. Say goodnight. Find my cats that deserted me. So rude. And don't forget, folks, if you're digging the content, don't forget to smash that like button. Smash that sub button. We just passed 265 or something. We're getting like 1 or 2 a day now. It's so awesome. Keeping the momentum going. If you dig it, share it with your friends. Tell them to check out the product. Tell them to sub. We're trying to hit 1,000 sometime next year. That's what the goal is. If this keeps up, we can do it. So hit that sub button, smash that like button, and ring that bell for notifications so that one more of my content hits your screen. Good night, folks. Oh, and I will be reviewing the Border City Wrestling Impact Wrestling one night only special that's going to air whenever it's airing within the next couple something. I may review it Sunday or Monday sometime. I don't know when. I got stuff going on Sunday. I may watch it late Sunday night and then review it because God knows I'm not watching Survivor Series. Although I am going to say I am intrigued by the Brock Lesnar Daniel Bryan match. That one was like, oh, that should be interesting. But nonetheless, yeah. You all have a great weekend. And we'll see you around the corner real soon. Have a good one. Good night, folks.